Now I'm making this video way in advance. Galaxy S26 Ultra at the time of making this video isn't out for a couple or a few months, and S25 Ultra has been out for almost a year, and it's definitely probably their best phone to date. But should you upgrade? And I know we're months away, but I kind of wanted to just get that conversation going. So let's talk about it. Now when I hold this phone, especially coming from like a Galaxy Z Fold 7 where it feels thinner, it feels somewhat lighter when I don't have the case on there or the pop socket on there, this phone does feel like a bit of a tank, and it does feel a little bit thick. Now, reportedly, the S26 Ultra is supposed to be thinner and lighter than this generation of phone, the S25 Ultra, and that's great. And that's a really, really great reason to want to maybe upgrade to the phone, because it's gonna, especially if you're holding it all the time and you get hand fatigue with this phone, lighter and thinner would be a very nice option for this phone. I don't think they're gonna do it. I haven't heard that they're gonna do it, but bringing the S Pen back into the phone would be really good for the, I don't care personally, but it would be really cool for people to say, hey, S Pen is back with Bluetooth and all. It's not gonna happen, but it would be really, really cool. We're still lucky that it still sits inside of the S26 Ultra at the very least. The main thing that you want this for, hopefully, is to write on the screen, and it still does a great job at that, as equal to the previous generations, and it'll do that again this year with the S26 Ultra. Now the cameras are not really being changed for the most part at all on these. Now the front camera is being changed. It's going to be bigger. That camera right there is going to be a bigger black circle. They're going to make it bigger so that you can get better selfies, with wider selfies, I should say, wider selfies, videos, and photos. And I love that. It's honestly, it'd be a big reason I would want to upgrade if this was my main phone. It's not my main phone, I'm a fold guy, but I still use this phone basically every day to record videos and stuff like that, and do how-to videos occasionally. And I would love to get that nice wide-angled camera on here. Would it be the main reason? Would it make me upgrade? Probably not, but when you add it into the list of the things, maybe. I love this next one, having Qi 2 wireless charging. Hopefully they'll finally add the 25 watt Qi 2 wireless charging. This maxes out at 15 watts, so having the magnets, MagSafe built into it is awesome. I love that option versus this not having it on the S25 Ultra, and then having the ability to charge at 25 watts natively, especially with their new chargers out there. Come on, so cool. I love that. And then also 60 watt wired charging. This is stuck at 45 watts. Those two things alone might make me upgrade. Maybe not, but it is a really, really good reason to have faster charging, wired and wireless. Now they haven't come out and fully said it yet, and hasn't been a ton of rumors exactly what the nits will be, but reportedly these are in a newer display, an M14 OLED on the display, and reportedly it's probably gonna be brighter. I think if it's gonna be brighter, it's gonna be 3000 nits. This is 2600 nits. Also, the display looks freaking awesome. I don't think we'll see a huge difference, M14 to M12, AKA S26 Ultra to S25 Ultra, but a little bit brighter display, especially outdoors. Maybe want it to be a little bit brighter. You might notice some difference. I'll be honest, I don't think it's gonna be a huge difference, but it is a difference. Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. It's gonna get like basically 30-35% better performance than this phone. What is that good for? It's gonna be, you're really gonna see it with gaming with a few more frames per second. Maybe instead of it maxing out at whatever, maybe it gets a solid 65 frames per second. This new one will probably get 70, 75, maybe 80 frames per second more, not more, but total, versus what this phone can get in a game. So you're still gonna be able to game amazingly on this phone, but in the grand scheme of things, is it gonna mean that much more? Probably not. And then like video and photo rendering and things like that, you're saving seconds off, not minutes, seconds. So maybe instead of it taking, let's say, a minute to render that video, maybe it's gonna take this one 40 seconds or 35 seconds. There will be a difference, but is it enough to make you want to pay a whole nother bit of money for that phone? Maybe. Also, don't forget, you do get One UI 8.5 launching with the S26 Ultra phone as well. And that's gonna bring new AI features and just new features in general, which will probably all or mostly trickle down to this phone as well. Now, with all of that said, is it enough to make you want to upgrade with what we know so far and with what I mentioned? For the person that wants to upgrade every year, yeah, without a doubt, there's enough on there to make you want to upgrade. Is there enough for the normal person to want to upgrade? Again, at the time of what we know right this second, maybe not. And then someone that's jumping in new, yes, that's the one to get, the S26 Ultra. The big takeaways are going to be getting, basically 35% more performance on the S26 Ultra with the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. The faster charging, definitely on the wired side, 60 watt, potentially obviously with the magnets built in on the S26 Ultra, which is awesome. I love that these don't have it. And having MagSafe charging on there, potentially up to 25 watts. I love the wider camera on the front right there. I love that they're going to get obviously the newest software upgrades, and that's always fun to get because it adds in extra features, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully you don't see a higher price as well, but that's what we're kind of looking at. And what do you guys think? You think it's worth the upgrade or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Have a great day. And what do you think about the S25 Ultra? Honestly, if anyone asked me what phone to get, this would probably be the phone I tell them to get. This, especially if you're on the Android side. It's an awesome phone. Peace.